Well, hello there, my friends. I hope you guys are doing fantastic today. Welcome to the Real Talk Show. I am your host, Dr. India White. This is the Real Talk Show with Dr. India White. I am so happy you were able to join us. I wanted to let you guys know that this has been a phenomenal week. So many great things have been happening. I've been connecting with community leaders across the state of Florida, across the nation, and things have just been great. So I hope that you also have had a wonderful week. The weather has been pretty promising for us. I know down in or up in Louisiana, I mean, they've got, different storms taking place there. So, we definitely want to kind of just keep great thoughts for them. But, we've got so many different storms taking place right now. You've got, just different weather storms and storms with school situations. You've got COVID situations and social distance. So, with that, I want to talk to you guys about some of these things. But before we go into this, I'm going to bring on my special guest, and I'm also going to update you guys with some phenomenal news about our Real Talk show. So, the greatest part about this is that doors are beginning to open. People are starting to just join this task of just spreading great news and just keeping it real with people throughout the nation. And so, with that said, the Real Talk Show is now going to be aired on the radio station. It's called SoulNet WKDH every Monday through Friday at 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Again, I'll say SoulNet WKDH is the name of the radio station. Okay. So we will also be streaming this as well there. And you can visit it at www.soulnetwkdh.com. So with that, I'm super excited to now move into our show. I've got some amazing guests here. The first guest that I'm going to bring on the show, she is a phenomenal author, and she is an expert in her own right. As a child, she is already starting to make her mark, and I'm very proud of her, as well as the next young guest. He is a gifted learner, and he has many aspirations in life, and he is very influential. And both of these children have their heads screwed on pretty right, and they know exactly what it is that they want to do in life. And so I want to now present to you guys my beautiful children, Shekinah McCook and Asa McCook. Welcome, guys. Welcome to the studio.
Hi,
How are you?
I'm doing good.
Excellent. Excellent. So, all right, let's take turns here since we've got two guests on the show today. I'm going to start with Shekinah, women, ladies first. So, Shekinah, tell us a little bit about yourself.
My name is Shekinah and I am 11 years old. I am in 5th grade and I love school. I am an author of The Power of an Overcomer book, and I've written my own book, and I just love reading book novels. I love making YouTube videos, and I am a Christian, and I go to church, and I just love God, and I am saved.
Okay, so thank you so much, Shekinah, for sharing out. And now we also want to go to the young gentleman here, little Stephen Asa. I call him Asa, or Ace for short. So, Asa, go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself, sir.
Hi, my name is Stephen Asa McCook. I am 8 years old and I am in 3rd grade. And I am a published author of the book Allie the Alien. And also, I am an author in the book Power of an Overcomer. And you can find my chapter on page 75.
No, oh, right. Wow. So, do you guys have a copy of that book or anything that you can flash before the audience? Can you show it to us?
Yes.
Go ahead and show what you got. Okay. Okay, Shekinah, yours is upside down. So, is that your book that you wrote, Shekinah? Okay, so she's hold them up to the camera so we can see them. So we've got the story of my life in school is her book, and the power of an overcomer. And so people can reach out to you, right, by finding um, your information, of course. So we'll definitely make sure that we let them know what it is that you guys have to offer. So I'm super excited that you guys have joined us. Thank you so much for joining us. So, the next question, I'm going to have Asa start. Um, so, Asa, you told us the name of your first book. So, tell us again the name of your book and why did you want to become an author?
I wanted to become an author because I was inspired by a lot of people, and I I didn't want to be super lazy, and I didn't want to just sit on the couch and watch TV all day and play games. I wanted to do some type of work and educate people. Even though I am a child, I can still do big things for other children and other people that are in this world.
Mhm. Okay. So, I'm so glad that you shared that, Asa, and that you're looking at trying to impact other children in society and even adults. I'm sure you're inspiring many people. And so with that, Shekinah, I'm going to hand it over to you now. So tell us about your first book, the name of it, and why did you want to become an author?
The name of my the name of my first book is the story of my life in school, and I wanted to become an author because I just I wanted to inspire little kids to not think school is always bad, but to enjoy school and to not think it's bad, and to and I was also inspired by you from writing books, and yeah.
Oh, really? So you wanted to have students think that school is not bad. So, um, how has that been, Shekinah? Have you seen, have you been able to encourage any little ones, in particular since you've become an author?
Yes, I have. One time I sold my book to a mother who had a daughter, and she loved the book. Her mom told me that she loved the book, and she read it, and she would read it for her bedtime stories.
Oh, that's very nice. I'm very proud of you for making that impact, Shekinah, already at this age. This is phenomenal. And what grade are you in, Shekinah?
I am in 5th grade.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for sharing, Shekinah. So now we're going to turn it over to your brother, Asa. So, Asa, um, how does it feel to be a published author?
It actually feels good because you know you get a lot of people to read your story, and you get a lot of people to see advice for things that they might not know about. And if they are in school, then they can read books to make more. Uh, how do I say this? You can read books to get more smarter and educated, so that you can one day become like a businessman or woman, and you can
Mm.
become like some type of person that works hard and not is just lazy.
Wow, very powerful. Thank you. I am going to flash your advice for us there. So now let's talk about the school year and COVID. So, Shekinah, tell us, how has it been going this far for you as a fifth grader in school during COVID? Are you excited about your upcoming report card?
Yes, I am very excited. My teacher, she told me that I had nothing to worry about. I had all A's. Like, when I heard that, it was like joy to my ears.
Very nice. I'm very proud of you. Seems like you're a hard worker, but tell me, how has it been since COVID happened and you being at the time you were in fourth grade? And you remembered you couldn't go back to school because they closed the schools down, and then now you've got to do school online. How was all that for you?
It's good now. Like, now that I'm more used to the feeling of that, it for me now it's normal a little bit. But yes, I do miss my friends, but I just want to stay safe. And yeah, it's doing good.
Excellent. So you don't have a problem with doing schoolwork online or talking with your friends? What is your setup like? Talk to the audience about what it's been like being an online learner and having to juggle math and reading and science and social studies all online, different teachers. How has that been?
It's been at first in the beginning of it all, it was a little bit rough, but now that now that I'm more used to it, it's better because now I can get my friends' phone numbers and I can talk to them anytime. And I can also call my teacher if I needed help. And if you go to school, like usually, if you're at a physical school, sometimes you don't even get your teacher's phone numbers to ask them for help. So it's been good.
Thank you for sharing your experience, Shekinah. So now I'm going to turn it over to Asa, and I'm going to ask you now, sir, how has it been for you this school year since COVID? Are you excited about your upcoming report card?
Yes, I am very excited about my upcoming report card, and school has been really good for me. It's been like you get the work, it's easy, you pass it, it's good, you get all A's, easy. And I am super excited about my upcoming report card because I know I'll probably get all A's, and you just have to stay confident sometimes.
So, talk to us about what it was like for you when COVID happened and they shut the schools down, and you were what, second grade, and you couldn't go back to your teacher and stuff. What was that like for you?
Ugh, it was very sad because I I missed a lot of my teachers, and I didn't get to really finish the school year the way I wanted to, and I wasn't ready for online school, and I wasn't prepared. But then they started doing like you could go to school and then get a packet, and there was an app that you could talk to your teacher with. And I really liked my teacher in second grade, and yeah, it was just really sad. But now I'm used to online school, so if I have to go to online school again next year when I'm in fourth grade, then it won't really be a problem because I will be already like used to it.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate those responses, children. So, if you're just joining, welcome to the Real Talk Show with Dr. Adia White. I've got these phenomenal authors on my show today. We've got Shekinah and Asa McCook, two published authors, doing some great work. And so, with that said, we're now going to stream into the next part of the show. So, I'm going to now start with Shekinah. Answer this question for me, please. What do you want to be when you grow up as an adult? And do you want to go to college?
I would like to be a judge, and um, but before that, I would first like to be a lawyer, and I would also want a side job of being a hairstylist.
All right. What inspired you to do that?
I just really love doing hair. I like I've always just loved to do hair. I love to do other people's hair. I just I have a desire to do that, and then to be a judge. I just really love how judges are so like particular or straight about it, and you have to be on top, and they work really hard. And same with lawyers.
Yeah. And so, I don't know what happened to your brother. He might have to hop over and join you on your podcast.
Yeah.
Is he having technical difficulties?
Yes, he's
Okay.
having
Tell him to
technical.
just go join you.
Just come over here. His
So,
his computer
um,
died.
so now we're going to talk with Asa, and we're going to allow Asa to tell us. Um, so Asa, what is it that you want to become when you are an adult? And do you want to go to college?
What would you
All
like to
right.
know?
Go ahead.
I would like to be a preacher and a pilot that flies planes so I can make a lot of money and also I can tell the gospel to people that need it.
Okay. So you want to be a preacher and you want to fly planes as a pilot. So I'm going to now ask both of you guys, where do you want to go to college if you want to go to college? To kind of go ahead, start.
I would like to go to UF, the college you went to.
Ah. Oh, wow. Go Gators. And Asa, where would you like to go to college?
I would either like to go to Harvard University or to UF
Okay. And why did you choose Harvard?
because it's like the top school and history was made there.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for sharing out, you guys. And so, with that said, the next question is this: Shekinah, start us out. Who inspired you and helped you to achieve your goals, and how did they inspire you?
Um, I had a few people that has inspired me. You are one of them. How you got your doctorate has really inspired me. That's what I want to do, and I know that I can do it if you've done it. And because if you've done it, I know I can do it because it's in my blood. And um, some other people that has inspired me were um, a bishop in
Bishop who? Because people that are listening, they don't know who Bishop is.
oh um, in Pentecostals of Gainesville. His name is um, Bishop Arnold, Pastor Arnold, Jeff Arnold, and he has inspired me because he just keeps it real. He he inspired me, and he has gave me he knew me from the start when I was just a young little baby, and he gave me my first piece of candy.
Yes, he did. Okay, Asa, thank you, Shekinah, for sharing. So now, Asa, what do you or who has inspired you and helped you to achieve your goals, and how did they inspire you?
Well, one, you inspired me to, as well as Pastor Jeff Arnold up in Gainesville. Um, Great pastor, he inspired me to preach, and you inspired me because you are my mom, and I seen you do a lot of things, great things that I would should one day do, and yeah.
Well, thank you guys. And it's very warm and very touching. I know I'm in another room, but this is melting my heart for all you guys that are listening. Thanks for joining the Real Talk Show. I'm here with two authors, Shekinah and Asa McCook. And so the next question that I have, Shekinah and Asa. So you guys, I hear you mentioned church. So Shekinah, how has your faith in God helped you to remain determined?
My faith in God, I just know that He can do all things. He will not let you down. If you're someone out there that needs a comforting, go to God, go to Jesus. He will comfort you and He will protect you. And He, like, sometimes I would be super sad during school, and then I just thought about Him, and I just felt all better. And I was born and raised in church. So I've just been trying. I really want to stay with God, and God is the best thing that you can ever get.
Thank you so much. And Asa, I want you to just ask or just let us know as well. How has your faith in God helped you to remain determined?
It helps me to stay determined because I know that I am saved, and if I don't keep my savedness, I won't go with Him. So I just have to stay determined and stay knowing that I will go with Him, and stay knowing that I have to do right things. Like, people out there, Acts 2:38 is the verse. Yes. Okay? I just need to tell you that. But you just have to stay determined sometimes so that you can know when God is coming. You'll know when God is coming, and it's not too soon when He's coming. But you have to stay determined and stay knowing that you'll one day be in eternity with Him if you do the right stuff and if you follow Acts 2:38 and stay right for the rest of your life.
Thank you so much for that feedback, Asa. And so, the next question here. How have your parents helped you with your success? Shekinah, go ahead and start us out.
My parents has helped me with my success because my mom, she inspired me to write books. She has inspired me to be educated. She has inspired me to get a doctorate, which I will be getting if God does not tarry. If God tarries. And so my mom has inspired me with a lot of things. She inspired me to be confident. My dad, he inspired me with just outside activities, and if I was you guys both inspired me with this, not to be sad if I lose in a game, because you said that I need to have tough skin. Yes, and I can't be down just over a game or over anything else. And yes, that happened with the Monopoly game. There were some.
What happened in the Monopoly game? The audience doesn't know what happened in the Monopoly game.
The Monopoly game. So, one day we were playing and I got bankrupt. That was not a cool story. And then, it was because of him. He had the hotel on Boardwalk. I'm like, are you serious? And I landed on it. And then shortly after, I think, and then another time, so he won that one, and then you won one and you had one on Connecticut. 2 hotels on there. Never play with this lady. She will get you. You want to be careful, guys, if you want to play Monopoly with her. You want to be
know all the tricks that you can know so that you can beat this lady. She's dangerous in Monopoly. Yes. She's dangerous.
Well, thank you so much for letting our audience know that there is a queen in Monopoly. And so, but I am merciful at times, right, guys? I am merciful.
Yes.
Thank you. So listen, so now let's keep going. So Asa, how have your parents helped you be successful?
My parents have helped me because they have inspired me to write books. And my grandfather, he also inspired me to preach because he was a pastor himself. And my mom inspired me to write books and not to um, feel bad and feel jealous of anybody because you will one day get it right. And my dad has inspired me to do many things. Like he taught me how to actually act good, and to my mom and my dad has taught me to accomplish good things. And yeah, they just have been wonderful parents to me.
Well, thank you guys for the compliments. I love you guys. Thank you. So the next question, I want Asa to start this out. Asa, where do you see yourself in the next 5 years?
I see myself in the next 5 years probably in high school because of all the education I have. I might be in high school in the next 5 years
Hmm.
because, look, my parents are very, very, very smart, and they passed on their smartness to us too. And now we are top of our class and we are doing such great things. But I think I'll be in high school because everything that I've accomplished in life and every single smart thing that I did, I'll be in high school definitely.
Okay. Well, thank you. Is there anything else that you think you'll accomplish? Do you think you'll write any more books? Do you think you'll do anything else?
Yes, I definitely will write another book because writing books is actually kind of fun. Once you do it once, you'll do it twice, and then you'll do it the third time, and then you'll keep on doing it, and it actually gets really fun. It got fun for me on the first time because I accomplished a really, really good book for kids.
We are very proud of you, sir. Thank you so much. Now, Shekinah, I'm going to turn it over to you. Where do you see yourself in the next 5 years?
I see myself, well, since I'm a little bit older than him, I see myself like towards the end of high school going to college. And like he said, we are at top of our class. We will not give up passing on the education. We will have that for all of our lives if we like it or not. And I also want to have a job. Well, I want to have at least my side job that I'll have of doing hair. I want to do that in the next 5 years, and I also just and I also want to stay with God, and I don't want to just lose Him. I am not going to lose Him.
Well, thank you so much for sharing out. If you guys are just joining, welcome to the Real Talk Show with Dr. Adia White. We are here with special guests, Shekinah McCook and Asa McCook. And again, our show will be aired on Monday through Friday next week at 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time on the radio station SoulNet WKDH. So definitely make sure you tune in there as well to get some more of these nuggets that we're sharing on the show today. So I want to now talk about the next question. So I know both of you guys have written books. So I want to ask you, Asa, what advice do you have for other children who are desiring to write a book?
The advice that I have is, you gotta be smart with some things. You gotta be smart with your words. You gotta know how to spell. Because if you don't know how to spell, then they'll be like ha he ha me, and you gotta be smart with your words. You have to be like you have to be like a whole entire grown up, even though you're a kid. You have to be a grown up. Oh yeah, well blah 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 blah, and all the right words. You have to make the story sound really good so that people will actually be interested in your books and be interested in what you do, and you can finally start making money and stuff if you want to make money. And sometimes you don't want to make it for money, you just want to make it for children's education. And you want to sometimes do that, because if you don't do that and you just write books all the time just to make money, they'll be loaded, but there will be no kids with education from your books. You'll
Wow.
be loaded with money, but no kids with education.
That's
And
powerful. So you're talking about paying it forward, huh? And giving
yeah,
back, helping the future. Did I lose you there in that question? So you want to help out, you want to help future
yeah,
kids too.
yes. You can't stop. You have to give kids education, and sometimes if you want to give grown-ups education, you have to give them sometimes education, even though you are a kid. If you are small, you can accomplish big things, even though you're small. I'm a small person. When I wrote my first book, I was a small person,
How
and
old were you when you wrote your first book?
I was either 6 or 7. And I wrote that first book. I said, Mom, I want to write a book. And she said, okay, let's do this. And then I finally wrote my book. It turned out to be a real good book. And I sold a copy. And I'm educating people, because that's what you need to do. When you write a book, you need to educate people. You can't just sit there and lay around and be like, oh, Johnny was a couch potato, and Lisa didn't do this, but she went to school and blah, blah, blah. No, you have to say this. You have to be like, they did 8 plus 8, 16. And then the teacher was like, correct, blah, blah, blah. You have to give them some type of education, no matter if it's math or anything else. You just have to give them some type of education.
Thank you so much for sharing out, Asa. So now, Shekinah, what advice do you have for children that are desiring to write a book?
The advice that I have is just to work hard, don't be down, don't get stressed about it, and just, yes, give them an education, of course, because you want, like, you can, and yeah, like he said, you even though you're small, you can accomplish big things. I was small too. I was only 8 years old when I wrote my first book, and like, you can accomplish big things. Don't think just because you're a small little kid nobody will listen to you, because sometimes the kids, they have they have more experience than the grown-ups, because like sometimes not experience but more understanding. Yeah, more understanding, because I know some of y'all grown-ups are tired. Yeah.
Right.
So
Okay.
sometimes kids can have more like, yep, I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna run around all around the house and stuff and write a book.
So what is that called? What word is that mommy uses all the time? Starts with a G. Starts with a G.
A G?
Mm-hmm. What number? What word is that? You wrote about it in The Power of an Overcomer. You said you have a lot of energy and you're hardworking. Asa, what is it, Asa?
Grit?
Yes.
Yes. Some kids, like, you can have grit when you're a kid or even a grown-up. And you don't have to, again, when you're writing a book, do not be sad and do not be stressed out. It is really easy, and just be confident in yourself, because at first, when I had this book, I did not think it was that good until I heard when the lady bought my book, and she bought it for her child, and her child loved the book. She would not stop reading it. Like, she
Oh.
told me that her mom told me that the child would always want to read it for bedtime, like I said earlier. So just just keep on going, work hard, and just write your book. Don't be sad about it.
Well, you guys have given some wonderful advice here to the audience and to the listeners, and thank you so much. I hope that the listeners are able to have their children tune in or students tune in. And are you guys, Shekinah and Asa, are you willing to read books to students and pay it forward in schools and stuff?
Yes. Oh yes.
Yeah,
Of
maybe.
course I am. I'm up for anything.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for that. Now, listen, I'm going to transition and I'm going to ask another question to you guys. Asa, I'll let you start here. So, talk a little bit about your experience about writing the Power of an Overcomer book. How did that make you feel, and how did you enjoy that experience?
It made me feel pretty good because I knew that I was working with a lot of other people and I would have my own chapter. And people would go to my chapter and they would read stuff and it would be sometimes powerful to some people, sometimes funny to some people, sometimes sad to some people, sometimes making people happy. It's just about. It was so fun writing that book with like a lot of people and like writing the book with a lot of and I was writing the book with you and that was super fun because I never thought I would write a book with my mom. And yeah, because it's so good sometimes when you write books, because if you don't write books sometimes, then nobody will get education from you. And sometimes everybody needs some type of education. They'll be looking for a book, looking for a book, looking for a book, and then finally there's your book sitting right there. And then they pick up that book, they run to the register, they say, "Hey, can I purchase this book? Thank you so much." And then they read it and they get so much education from your books. So that's why it's super good to write books.
Thanks so much. And Shekinah, go ahead and share out. Talk about your experience with writing the Power of an Overcomer book. How did that make you feel, and how did you enjoy that experience?
That the book, it I absolutely loved it because it will inspire so many people, grown-ups, kids, whoever. Like, and I know that like it can teach you about education, God, it can teach you about your life and how you overcome things, and it can help you inspire people, and it can help other people to be inspired to write books. And I just I loved the book because it was a mixture of like a nice group combined who would work together and not be against each other. And yes, I got to write it with you, and then I also got to write it with some other family members, such as my uncle and my brother, and just a lot of other people. And it was really fun to write.
Thank you so much for sharing your experience, guys. So now, I'm going to turn this back over to you, Asa. How have you been an overcomer, and how do you plan on helping others with your experience?
I actually overcame bullying and because I used to get bullied with words, and ever since I wrote my first book, I know how to get it back. And then they'll be like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry," because they know that I wrote my first book. And then if if I do get loaded of money, I would spend it on stuff that some stuff on my life, but some stuff on other people's lives, because some people don't have that much stuff in their life and they just need some type of something to help them.
That's very nice of you. Very nice of you to think about paying it forward to others when you do become successful. And with that, Shekinah, how have you been an overcomer and how do you plan on helping others with your experience?
I have overcame fear. I used to be really scared of scary movies and stuff, and I would have like the worst nightmares ever. Like it was like horrible. But now that I think about it, you have God, and God would not let you down. He would not. If you have the Holy Ghost, what should you be scared about? And one time there was an experience when God showed me that there was like an alarm system. He showed me there is a and like the devils, like the demons and stuff. They were scared of me. They're not scared of. I'm not supposed to be scared of them because I have the Holy Spirit. So that shouldn't happen. So all people out there, always remember you don't have to be scared because God is with you. And also I overcame some other things, like um oh when I would sadness in school, I overcame that. I am not sad anymore. I know that I will get a good grade, and you have to be confident in yourself. You can't just say, you can't give up. You can't like say, you know what, I'm gonna fail. I'm done. Who cares now? Like you have to build yourself up, and yeah, so I overcame that.
Wow, this is so powerful, guys. So with that said, it seems like you guys are pretty confident in yourselves and what you want to be. And you know, mommy's very proud of you. I know daddy is too. And so I want to ask a question. If you could encourage parents to be super cool and supportive to their kids, what would you tell them they would have to do? Asa.
They they would have to first like do fun stuff with them when they're really young, and um they would then have to teach them, and then you have to do really fun stuff and make them have good grades and all of this other stuff so that you can so that they can and you can accomplish stuff. You can accomplish making your kids like you, because some people, their kids got away from them so much that they don't even talk to their mom or their dad anymore because they just did stuff that they didn't like that their mom or dad did, because it's not always good to punish your children. Sometimes to like you have to make away from them. You have to give them mercy. Sometimes you have to give them mercy, like God did to the people that didn't like him and that tried to do stuff to him. He gave them mercy. And then when also you have to forgive them, like God said on the cross, he said, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. So sometimes you have to forgive them because sometimes they don't really know. They just are like, oh, I thought you should be punished um because you did that thing in school and you should have never did that in school and blah blah blah. No, sometimes you have to forgive them.
Thank you so much, sir. Okay. And so, Shekinah, I want you to now answer the question. If you could encourage our parents to be super cool and supportive of their children, what would you tell them they would have to do?
For you to be cool and stuff for your children, you have to let a child be a child. You have to let them, like, if they're just doing too much, don't let them, like, if they're like rolling around, like, if they're like trying to run around the whole entire neighborhood or something, okay, I can see that happening. But if they just want to be a kid, just let them be a kid. But if if they did something really wrong, you can punish them, because it says not to spare in the Bible, to not spare the rod, and which is now we don't like. So you can punish your kids, but not in a
loving way. In a
yeah,
loving
in a
way. Yeah.
loving way. And also, if they're doing bad in school, just build them up. Don't like punish them. Like build them up. Like if they're sad in school, like you did to me, how I was sad in school and I was like, oh, I can't do this, and you're like, come on, you can do this. You don't worry about that stuff. You can do it. And that you just build them up and let them feel good about themselves. Don't let them think they're so like I'm boring. I don't know anything. I'm not smart. Because you want your child to love you. And yes, you should have mercy on children, and just have faith in them. Don't bring them down. But there's a story, and it talks about like filling a bucket of like kindness and stuff and things like that, and you just be kind to them, let them be a kid, let them and do family activities, and just just build them up and let them be confident in themselves and just encourage them.
Wow, guys, this is just so much wealth of information for us adults out there. Welcome to the Real Talk Show with Dr. India White. If you guys are just joining us, I'm here with two published authors, Shekinah and Asa McCook, my beautiful children, and they are giving nuggets of wisdom regarding writing books, also with parents. And so we are just loving this. So I'm going to ask you too, do you have any advice for teachers? Yes, Asa.
Teachers, you must not fail your kids. You have to build them up, even if they're not doing too good. You have to take them up there. You can at least give them a B or a C or something, not an F or a D or whatever you call it. You don't give that to students. You have to build them up and make them know that they're actually like a good kid. Because if you don't make them think that they're a good kid, they will not like you. They will say bad stuff about you behind your back sometimes. And they would not ever want to be around you, and they will say you're the worst teacher ever because you never gave them mercy, and because you failed them, and because you're not a good teacher because you don't build kids up.
Wow.
You have to build kids up, and you have to not fail them. Don't fail kids, teachers. Don't fail kids, because then the parents can get crazy. They can get crazy. And you don't want them parents to get crazy, because if they do, may God be with you, because those parents will fight you because they don't want you failing their kid. Like, who wants somebody? What parents want their kid to be failed? None. I know my mom or my dad did not. They will not play that.
That's right.
Well,
Now, Shekinah.
You don't fail your kids.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Asa. So now, Shekinah, what advice do you have for teachers?
Same thing as he said, like, please don't fail your kids. Like, if they're doing bad in school, don't just let them fail. You need to make them do that work. Like he said, there are parents out there that will go all the way to the district for their child to make it, because like he said, may God be with you, because you do not want to get fired, don't you? So, because they will go all the way to the news. Like, you don't want to go above that level. That is all the way parents level. If you make it above there, that's like a world record of horribleness. So, yes, please do not fail your kids. And yes, again, bring them up, encourage them, say you can do it, and that also, like, if you build them up, and first you have to give them a little bit of like, like because you don't want to make them like think that, oh, she's a nice teacher, she won't fail me at all. Like, and you won't. But like, don't make them use you.
That's
Like,
good advice. Yeah.
yeah, don't make them take advantage of you.
Yeah, so setting boundaries, but still having mercy and passing your children the best way without, of course, just making up grades, but having mercy. I love it. I love it. You know, teachers, it is okay to waive an assignment or two. You don't have to count everything, right, guys? So now, the next question: how can we get a copy of your book, Shekinah? How can we get a copy of your book and contact you? And if they wanted you to come out and speak at schools, or if they wanted you to come speak somewhere else?
You can contact me by my email. That is Shekinah McCook at 7@gmail.com. Again, Shekinah McCook 7@gmail.com. Also, you can, like, since I make YouTube videos, you can like comment down in one of my videos that.
What's your YouTube channel?
Oh, my YouTube channel is Shekinah McCook. It's all, and you will see it. It's Shekinah McCook. That's spelled SHEKINAH, and then MCCOOK.
Is it one word if they're looking for you, or is it 2 words?
My email or my
YouTube channel.
YouTube channel, it's 2 words.
Yeah.
And yes, so you can say in the comments that you want one of my books. Here is one of them. I'm going to get some more copies, of course. So yes, if you want a book, please come get this book. It is waiting for you.
Well, thank you so much, ma'am. And so now, Asa, how can we get a copy of your book and contact you?
You can contact me at my email, SteveMcCook00 at gmail.com, and you could go to my YouTube channel. My YouTube channel is Steve McCook. If you put in Steve McCook, the first thing that you will see on there, it will say something called The Champion, and click on that, and that's me.
Thank you so much. I am writing this down for our audience.
Also, one more thing, you can also text me. Just say your name and say that you want one of my books. You can text me at
your mom's. I would prefer you to give your mom's information.
Yeah, do my mom's number, because just text my mom and just tell her that you want a book.
And you can also email me at india.white.123@gmail.com if you're wanting their information, seeing their children. I think it's appropriate that you guys kind of go through the channels, and I think you understand that. Thank you guys so much for sharing. Now, how will buying your book or having you speak to students help across the state of Florida and in the nation?
It will help because children will need, like, stuff. They'll be like, oh, I want to read that book, but it won't sometimes be in that school. So it's just like sometimes you gotta travel and then eat. Sometimes you gotta travel and read the book to somebody, and then you have to, like, you can't be like, oh, I want to read that book, because one day we could easily come to that school and read that book for you, and we can make your day. So, yeah.
Thank you so much. And Shekinah, um, how will them buying your book um, or having you speak to students help across the state of Florida and in the nation?
I think that it will, because some people, some kids, they would say, "Oh my gosh, I don't want to go to school. I hate school." And my book talks about school and about the good things about it and how it can be really fun to go to school. And I think that would help the state of Florida because there's a lot of kids that live in Florida, and if you read this book, it would most likely change your opinion about school.
Maybe you can help other kids write books as well, guys.
Yes, and it would inspire other kids to write books too. And like you don't have, if you want, just be confident in yourself. Don't think it won't work. Just inspire other kids to do it as well.
Excellent. Thank you so much for sharing out. And the last question here, do you have any advice or words of encouragement that you would like to give our listeners? Asa, we'll have you share out first.
My advice would be that that you, you would want to sure that
Okay.
I'll go first. Just be confident. Don't pull yourself down. Always stay with Jesus. Have Acts 2:38 in your Bible. If you don't have a Bible, download the Bible app. It's verse Acts 2:38. And you can learn a lot about God, and that's gonna get you right to go to heaven no matter what. That's like the main verse. And then also just be confident. Don't bring yourself down. Just love each and one another. Be inspired. Be like. Don't be.
Be encouraged.
Yeah, be encouraged. Be explain your feelings to people, how you feel in your books. If you want to write a book, just explain your feelings because it would help you. And when you write books, it helps you to just care for them and stuff, and read books too, guys, and always stay in education. Okay.
Thank you so much. Now, Asa, let's wrap it up, buddy. What advice do you have for people?
I have that always be encouraged and always know that God will one day come, and like she said, Acts 2:38 is the way. It's the main way to get to heaven. You need Acts 2:38, and I was taught that by you, mommy, because you just you brought us to church, and one day you got us to. One day you prayed for us, and other people prayed for us, and we got the Holy Ghost one day. And thank you for everything that you do. And you guys, thank you for watching. And yeah.
Well, thank you so much, guys. And that wraps up our show for all of our listeners. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Real Talk Show with Dr. Niowai. Again, this show will be aired again live, or it will actually be featured on the radio station Monday through Friday, starting next week at 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Visit www.soulnetwkdh.com to tune in. Thank you so much, Shekinah and Asa, for being our guests on the
You're
Real
welcome.
Talk Show.
You're welcome.
Hope you guys have a
Thank
phenomenal
you for
night.
tuning in, and thank you for having us on the show, Mom.
Yes, you're welcome. I love you guys. You guys take care.
You too.
Have a great night. Bye.
You too.
Bye.
Bye, guys.